Every morning in a small village, Thomas sets outside his home before the rest of the world is awake. He watches the horizon until the sky shifts from dark to vibrant pre-dawn colors. A young boy eventually noticed the routine. He approached the porch one morning and asked the farmer why he chose to meet the sun every single day. Thomas replied that he once lost something of higher value than gold, and no amount of effort could ever recover it. When the boy asked what could be that expensive, the old man didn't look away from the rising sun. He simply said, "Time." Most of us operate as if we have an infinite supply of future days. We treat the hours as if they are a renewable resource that will never run dry. Decades earlier, Thomas was the most ambitious young man in the village. He drew up plans for the largest farm in the region and kept a list of every country he intended to visit. But he wouldn't plant a seed or pack a bag until the weather was exactly right, or his savings hit a specific safe number. He waited for the conditions to be perfect. He told his family he would start tomorrow. By the time he went to bed, he convinced himself the next day offered a better opportunity. This timeline shows the cost of that delay. The flat line represents Thomas's inaction, while the curve shows the growth of those who started immediately. As they diverge, the gap fills with red, the massive volume of lost opportunity. Life's greatest losses don't usually happen in a single loud disaster. They occur through the quiet daily friction of waiting for a better time to start. Thomas's friends didn't wait for perfect weather. They worked through the rain and took risks while their savings were still low, building successful businesses and homes year by year. While they were gaining momentum, Thomas was occupied with minor tasks. He spent his energy on things that didn't matter, convinced that the right time was still ahead of him. One evening, Thomas sat on his porch and looked at the lights glowing in the windows of the houses his friends had built. He looked at his own empty fields and realized his life's ledger was mostly blank. This model compares Thomas's two resources. On the left, wealth is a circular loop. Money lost is earned back. On the right, time is a linear bar, draining to zero. Even if the wealth loop spins faster, the time bar drains at a locked, unchangeable speed. Thomas had spent decades protecting his money and his physical energy, things he could get back, while he let his only irreplaceable asset disappear. The next morning after that realization, Thomas didn't wait for the sun to be fully up. He walked into his fields while it was still cold and began clearing the land he had ignored for 20 years. He stopped checking the weather forecast, ignored his fatigue, and planted the trees he had talked about since he was 20. He couldn't get back the decades he'd wasted, but he began treating every remaining hour as if it were his last piece of gold. He didn't let a single afternoon go by without finishing something he had planned. He looked at the boy and explained that most people only see the value of their time when they are standing at the end of it. By then, they realized they were waiting for a life that was already passing them by. Every sunrise is a non-negotiable deposit of 24 unrecoverable hours. It isn't a promise of more time later. It is a specific amount given for today only. That deposit provides an opportunity that will permanently expire at midnight. Any portion of those 24 hours that isn't used is gone forever. Time is the only currency we are forced to spend every day without knowing the balance of the account. Use it before it's gone.